today's March 1st meeting of the Michigan City Board of Public Works and Safety. First order of business is the approval of minutes from our regular Zoom meeting from February 16th, 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting, February 16th, 2021.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All right, we move on. Request for street closure. Amy Weaver, representing Notre Dame Catholic School, is requesting approval for street closure of Moore Road to Lakeshore Drive on March 20th, 2021 to hold a St. Patrick's Day 5K run and fun walk from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. I believe that Amy is with us. Miss Weaver?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your event here?
So it would be a great idea. Can you hear me? I'm driving in my car. Do I need to stop, pull over?
It might help because your signal's somewhat broken up.
Okay, well, hold on, because I'm in Springfield Township. Can you guys hear me better if I take it off my phone? Or give me a second.
Okay.
I'm almost to 212.
Okay.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, that does sound better. Yes. Yes.
Loud and clear, zero distortion.
Okay, Amy, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the event, please.
Okay, can you guys hear me better now?
Yes. Yes, we
Or
can.
I can't hear you, so let me put you back on my. Is it better now?
We do hear you now, yes.
Okay.
Now we don't hear you. Okay, with
Hey,
this-
Mr. White, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
It's Mark Seddon, so I can jump in for Amy.
Thank you.
Her and I are kind of co-leading the event here. So it's a 5K run walk. It'll start at Notre Dame's campus and it'll go down north on Moore Road, and it'll cut over into Mount Clair into Long Beach jurisdiction. We've received approval from the town council there and the police chief there to use their roads. They're going to help us out with street closures there, and so the race will circle through Long Beach, down Lakeshore Drive, back to Moore Road, and then come south down Moore Road back to Notre Dame's campus. And that's in a nutshell the fundraiser event that we're hosting on the 20th.
Okay. Are you guys able to notify anybody that might be affected, anybody that has any homes or anything along this route that well in advance that they aren't going to have access to that for a small period of time on the day that you're using it?
Yeah, we can post signs if that's the recommendation here. That's no problem. The Moore Road closure would be, I guess, just north of the entrance to St. Andrews. So the residents there will not be affected. They can get in and out, as well as the community back there. The name of that community is escaping me right now, but there's another street behind St. Andrews where there's residents who will be able to get out if we were to block off Moore Road north of their entrance. Really, it's the residents of Long Beach where there'll be some closures, and we can certainly make an announcement. The town can help us out. Long Beach can help us out with that announcement.
Well, Mr. President, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Michigan City city limits extends to the north end of Birch Tree Farms, which is the subdivision that this gentleman was referring to. I do have one question. As you finish your run and you return to Notre Dame, what part of, are you still going to be north coming south on Moore Road? You're not going to be coming from the south, are you? To Notre Dame School? Because I know of no other road than Highway 12 to the south.
I'm not sure I'm following your question. In terms of entrance into Notre Dame's campus, is that what you're referring to, or the
Yeah,
run?
as you return to the campus at the end of the run.
Yeah, it'll be down Moore Road, south on Moore Road. So we'll have the road split where half the runners, and
Okay.
we've timed it out where there won't be congestion with runners going north and runners going south at the same time.
Okay. Thank you.
And all
Ms.
street
Keating?
traffic will come. Street traffic will come in off of the Duneland Beach Road exit to the Notre Dame parking lot. So,
Okay.
Ms. Keating, do you have any questions?
No, I'm satisfied with the questions that have been asked.
All right. I do have one question. It was Matt that was speaking with us, correct? Mark, I'm sorry. Mark, can you give us your last name real quick?
it's Seddon, Seddon.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Just wanted that for record purposes.
What did you say your capacity is, Mr. Seton, with this event?
Yeah, I'm a parent volunteer for the event, so I guess I'm co-leading as race coordinator.
Okay, thank you.
All right. With this, Captain Linieski, I believe you are on the call as well. Any issues from Michigan City Police perspective?
No, as stated earlier, the majority of this run runs through Long Beach, so the only road that's going to be affected is Moore Road. So we have no objections. I know I spoke with Chief Swistek from Long Beach, and he's in agreement that this would be a good event, and we have no objections.
Okay, very good. With that, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve.
Support?
I'm sorry, but we'll need the certificate of insurance, you guys.
Yes, I should
Okay.
have that today, Amber.
Okay. All right. So we are going to make the motion to approve contingent on receipt of the certificate of insurance. All in, do I have a second?
I seconded.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Mr.
Thanks,
Seddon.
everyone. I appreciate it.
Good luck on your event.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next on the agenda, request for street closure. Miles Craft, H&G Underground Utilities, LaPorte is requesting approval for street closure at the intersection of Fogarty Street between Oming Street and South Lake Avenue for a sewer extension project associated with the sanitary district. The closure will begin on March 8th, 2021 and run through March 17th, 2021. Is Mr. Kraft in attendance today?
Andrew, if Miles is not here, I'll speak on behalf of the
Okay.
sanitary district.
Okay. Steve, please, tell us any information we might need.
Okay, Steve Stanford, Operations Manager, Michigan City Sanitary District. This is a sewer improvement project to bring infrastructure onto Fogarty Street where there currently is none. The purpose of the project is to improve the sewer service to 201, 207, 211, and 215 Fogarty Street.
Okay.
Mr. Stanford, are those new residents that are yet to be occupied, or are they currently occupied houses?
These are very old houses that are currently occupied, and their existing connections to the system are either improper or failing.
Okay, and is there a new subdivision being built in that area that we are going to supply service to by this?
Negative, Mayor. This is for the existing homes only.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are we, who is going to be responsible for notifying the individuals that might live in that area and might be affected?
The sanitary district has already notified the 4 addresses that I mentioned. We'll
Okay.
take the people across the street and advise them the same way.
Okay. And are we comfortable that the March 8th to March 17th window is going to be long enough to make sure that all work is done properly and on time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Keating, any questions?
No, I have none.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I'll support that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and support. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Steve. Okay, next on the agenda is property and casualty insurance renewal. Charles Keene General Insurance Services Incorporated is requesting approval for the 2021 agreement for commercial property and casualty insurance renewal with the City of Michigan City. Commercial property and casualty coverage policy term 3/1/21 to 3/1/22 with an annual premium of $819,075.00 and crime coverage policy term 3/1/21 through 3/1/22, the annual premium of which is $5,246. Charlie, I believe you're on with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, board. Thanks for having me join the meeting this morning. So my team and the city administration had a meeting about the insurance renewal last Tuesday morning, February 23rd, and we reviewed all the details contained in the executive summary that you received in your board packet. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to field those without going into too much detail. My team and I really went back and forth with the insurance provider this year to get the cost down as much as possible. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to field those. If you'd like me to go through all the detail, I'd be happy to do that as well. Whatever your pleasure is, I'll be happy to do that.
Okay. Mayor Perry, do you have any insight, any observations?
Yes, I do, Mr. President. Just one thing. I was part of the meeting with Mr. Keene, and I really commend General Insurance. We talked about areas of our current activities that we need improvement in to lower our premiums in the future. Mr. Keene had some good advice. We will be, but that we can't do anything about it right now with this year's. But we agreed to having further meetings and possibly seminars with the entities of Michigan City government that can help us achieve lower coverage rates. And so I certainly appreciate the efforts of General Insurance as our agent of choice. Did I use the right term, Mr. Keene?
Yes, Mayor, you used the right term. Thank you. Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it. So.
Right. Charlie, real quick, in terms of the premium and how it was affected from the previous term to this term, I'm assuming that we're going up in premium a bit, but can you give us kind of an idea of the percentage increase?
Sure. Yeah, great question, Mr. White. So we're going up a total of 8.59%. 7% of that is rate increase, and 1.59% is exposure increase. So when I talk about exposure, I mean there's more stuff to insure. So values of buildings go up, because we have to replace, it's on replacement cost basis, so you have to increase values to keep up with construction costs. There may be more automobiles to insure. There may be more equipment to insure. Things like that account for the exposure increase. The rate increase is pretty much a result of the city's loss experience. So not that the city's loss experience is horrible, but it is, it's running a slight temperature. And when I say loss experience, I mean claims. So there's been some activity specifically in the automobile line that is causing the rate increase.
Okay. Thank you.
Great question.
Thank you. Ms. Keating, any questions, observations?
No, I do not have any.
Okay. All right, Amber, last check with you. Everything seemed to be in order from your perspective?
Yes, Mr. President, it does. I don't have any other comments or questions.
Okay. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the
Support that.
renewal.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, I didn't mean to
No,
cut you off.
no, you're fine. No, you're fine.
I'll support that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Charlie, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, board.
All right, have a
I
great day.
appreciate it. Same to you. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. All right, next on the agenda, board resolution accepting Northwest or Northern Indiana Commuter Transit District's uniform property acquisition offers for 2 city-owned properties for purposes of NICT's double track project. Skylar or Jeff, do you guys have any information beyond the large packet that we received regarding this?
I believe these came through. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, thank you.
I believe these came through the office of Miss LePage, but she did reach out to me, and this is simply for right-of-way. This is a piece of land that is on 10th Street behind some property that is already being purchased. So it's just a little piece of land. I'm not sure how we came about owning it. I don't know the history of it. And then the other piece is a triangular piece that I assumed it was right of way, but it actually is a parcel that we own. So, they're acquiring that to basically straighten out the curve at Chicago and put it in its own right of way. So that's the piece of land. That's really all I know about it. Amber might have some other details about it. You had asked me, Mr. White, you had asked me about the appraisal process and how all that worked. That's all done by BLN, which is the group that we use as well for the Redevelopment Commission. It's all done according to the federal uniform relocation and what's required of that. So there are they follow the rules, these very strict rules that are associated with the federal process.
Okay.
I don't know, Amber, hopefully I said, I don't know if you have any other details.
You did, Tyler. So my office did receive the uniform property offers from NICD, and in those offers, they also included, excuse me, the appraisals that were performed. So we do have those on record as well. But for Chicago Street, we're being offered $73,800. And then for West 10th Street, it's $155. And this is again for the double track project to acquire it for right away.
Okay. And I think Skylar, you kind of said that there was a part of you that didn't know whether we were necessarily, I mean, it was potentially, this was real estate that they were going to be able to acquire just because of the entire double track process. So ultimately, we're coming out ahead in this deal, correct?
I feel like we are because, I mean, that's just my opinion. The piece of land that we do own in Chicago, it would be otherwise a worthless chunk of land from the way it's situated in the street. That's why I assumed it was right of way already, to be honest. So.
Okay. All right. Ms. Keating, Mayor Perry, any questions, comments?
I have just one. Are both of these parcels being purchased from City of Michigan City?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful news. I was under the impression that unfortunately, we own the one that was only worth $155 and not the $73,000. So that's great news.
It's our lucky day, Mayor.
I thought so too, actually. I'm very surprised, actually. So.
Okay, with all of this being said, obviously they had to go through the process of going through and getting the numbers themselves. Amber, you are comfortable with us accepting this offer?
Yes.
All right. With that, I'm going to make a motion that we accept NICD's uniform property acquisition offers for the two properties. I suppose for the record, I should go ahead and mention that the property address of the first parcel, which is 460132128001 dot 000 dash 022, located on Chicago Street in Michigan City, Indiana. And the city of Michigan City will receive $73,800 in that acquisition. The second parcel is West 10th Street, parcel ID 460131238028 .000-022. City of Michigan City receiving $155 for said property. Everybody in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Next up on the agenda, for informational purposes only, Chief Doug Legault, who I do not believe is present with us. He did inform the board of the retirement of Marlon Garner, with over 35 years of service, effective February 26, 2021. Again, this is for informational purposes only. We would like to thank Mr. Garner for 35 years of service. It's a long time to be doing anything but protecting Michigan City for 35 years. Thank you very much, Mr. Garner. Next on the agenda is a resignation, also from Chief Doug Legault of Michigan City Fire Department, announcing the resignation of William Roddy, effective March 6, 2021. This again is for informational purposes only. We move on to the claims docket for March 1st, 2021, citing municipal claims of $1,222,350.09, community development block grants of $392.03, health life $299,457.55, and workers' comp for $109,476.40. All claims equal $1,631,676.07. Do I have a motion to approve the claims docket?
I'll make a motion to approve the claims docket in the total sum of $1,631,676.07.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you very much, Mayor Perry. All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All right, we move on. Payroll docket, February 12th, 2021 city payroll in the amount of $858,604.84. And also the February 26th payroll, 2021, city payroll in the amount of $546,556.53. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll docket for February 12th, 2021, in the amount of $858,604.84, and February 26th, 2021, in the amount of $546,556.53.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are approved. We move on to unfinished business. Two items we are addressing on today's unfinished business list. The first is Pamela Utterback, representing the Shoreland Hills Property Owners Association, 203 Maplewood Trail, is requesting paving in the Shoreland Hills subdivision. In the past, Mayor Perry stated that the city did not have the money right now to repave the area. We agreed to table this issue until the first meeting in March. Mayor Perry, have we found ourselves in any better position to accommodate Ms. Utterback's request?
No, we are not in a position to accommodate that at this time. What I'm going to suggest here, since our city engineer, Mr. Jeff Wright, is with us, possibly if you have time, you and I can take a ride out there, take a look at that, and compare what we see to the PACER rating to verify that the PACER rating is accurately describing the condition of this street, and possibly this street could be given a higher priority. Do you see that being a possibility, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, anytime you're ready, Mayor, we can go take a look.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is this something that we should address at our next meeting, or are we going to need a couple more weeks beyond that?
If you would, Mr. President, give us a month, first meeting in April.
Okay, we will go ahead and move to amend this, tabling it until the first meeting in April. I believe we would make a motion to amend this, correct?
Well, I as soon as I said that, I thought I spoke out of turn to it early, because and I'll look for input on this issue from Mr. Wright, because we have just finished our application for the next paving cycle, which is Cleveland Avenue. We're going to fix all the speed bumps on Cleveland Avenue between 20 and 400 North, Kiefer Road. And so to say that we can make arrangements to pave the Maple Trail is unrealistic at this time. The best we could do would be to put it in the next paving cycle, which would be the, if I'm right, Jeff, the first cycle for 2022? Or would that be the fall cycle for 21? Okay, Amber's shaking her head fall. Okay.
I think Skylar and I drove this already and looked at it. And
okay, then we don't need to. You and I do not need to.
But it's been a couple of months, and I'm more than willing to ride with you and take a look at it. But as far as what we looked at, it wasn't even close to being ready for a resurface. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I was unaware of that.
I think we had some intersection patching and some patches, but as far as repaving, mill grind replacement, I think it was a little ways out from that, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well then, based on the assessment of both Mr. Wright and Mr. York, I'll make a motion that this be removed. This has been denied in this, or no, we probably need to take a vote to deny it. Is that correct, Ms. LePage? Okay, I'll make a motion that we deny this request.
At least at this time, yes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to remove this item from the, to deny the request and remove this item from the unfinished business list. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have removed that from the unfinished business. Our second and final item from the unfinished business list, John Shalikian of 609 Franklin Street, no access to property and drainage issues. These issues were tabled until the first meeting in March, which is this meeting, due to not having money in the budget right now. Mayor Perry, do you have any information regarding this item?
Well, if I can identify it correctly, and I'll look to Mr. York for help here, Planning Director York, that this is at the end of the service drive in front of Menards and Meyer at the south end. It's our goal to, as a city, to push that through and tie into the drive leading to the north end of Walmart's store, which will relieve a lot of the traffic on Franklin Street in that area. So we've got work to do before we can, we got front end of work to do, approvals and such, before we can take action on this. Is that correct, Mr. York?
Yes, sir. I think that's a good, your assessment is correct. Yes, it is. You're correct with the location. Our intention is to punch through, if you will, I use that term loosely, punch through, push a road through to connect to the Walmart entrance, to basically finish Town Center Drive as it was supposed to be finished, I think as it was planned to be finished. We are actually taking this up. We'll be talking about this at our next redevelopment commission meeting. Looking at more holistically at that project, because there's some other things we have to do as well, such as take ownership of certain parts of that road that we're never granted ownership of. There's some things we have to clean up. Let's just say that. But yes, your assessment's correct, Mayor.
Do you think it's possible that all of these things, what the public doesn't know that is that Michigan, which is why it's in such bad shape, the service drive that is known as Town Drive in front of Meyer and Lowe's is in extremely bad shape. Michigan City does not own that road. We have to come to an agreement with both Meyer and Lowe's for them to relinquish ownership of that road to Michigan City so that we can repair and maintain it. And those entities, Meyer and Lowe's, are not the individuals that we have to meet with, are not locally situated here in Michigan City. We're going to have to travel to sit with them. Do you see us being able to put, I like that term, punch this road through, by the end of the year, that we could possibly get it done in 2021?
I would love to say that we could. It's a big project. There's a wetland there as well that we have to mitigate. There's a lot of moving parts to it, especially taking ownership of the road, things of that nature. But I would like to say yes. That would be ideal, I think, in my opinion, and I think the redevelopment commission would like to see that as well.
Well, then maybe I'll make a motion that we amend this item to our first meeting. The paving season pretty much ends in mid to late October, if I'm correct. that we back this item up and address it the first meeting in October. Does that sound like a sensible request, Mr. York?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's my request then, Mr. President.
Okay, here's what I do want to do. So obviously, the receipt of this item predates my time on the board. Just based on the address of Mr. Slicky, and I understand that we have 609 Franklin Street. I was confused. I did not know that this actually had to do with that area down on South Franklin. Perhaps on the unfinished business list, can we cite the location that we are discussing in this particular situation so that it's just a little bit more clear that that's the time that we're addressing, so that everybody has that information in front of them?
I don't see any reason we cannot, but I'll defer to our clerk, Ms. Nyla. Ms. Nyla, is that possible? Yeah, she's muted.
You're on mute, Gail.
You're muted. You're muted.
As long as you talk about it, I can put it in the pending list stating what was said.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No, I think I would be more comfortable if on the actual list of unfinished business, if we did cite that this was the drive near Walmart and Meijer and Menards, to know that that's the actual issue that we are taking care of, and not something that has to do with 609 Franklin Street, which was kind of my impression initially, was that this was an item that was downtown on the square when actually we're talking on the south side of town. So, but in terms of leaving it on the unfinished business list, we do need to do that. I agree with moving it, readdressing it at the first October meeting, as Mayor Perry said. Again, I would like to have it noted that the location that we are looking to take action on is on the south side of town. But with that, the motion to move it to the first meeting in October, do I have a motion and a second?
I'll make that motion, Mr. President.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Question.
Aye.
Question. I just want to make sure that it's clear that I'm going to make this two separate items on the pending list, both coming back in October.
Two separate items?
Right. One 609 Franklin, and then what Skylar had just said about taking the road through to Walmart.
I don't think you need to, because that was never initially brought up on a Board of Works agenda about
Okay.
it.
All right. So since it wasn't on the agenda.
It was, it never appeared, correct?
Okay.
There's
Is
no
there an
action.
item that is being asked to be addressed at 609 Franklin Street, or is that just Mr. Shalikian's
Business
address?
address. That's just his
That's
That's
business.
just his
Home
address.
Yeah.
So it's just one item. Actually, Skylar, if you could do this, that I don't have the name of the streets like in front of Meijer. Any descriptive, any description that we can give to put on to the unfinished business list that just gives an idea of what area we're talking about? And I think that Meijer Drive is the name for that area down there, but any other street names that can give us a better?
I would say that it's the southern terminus of Town Center Drive, which terminates right there.
That's exactly what I would be looking for. So
Tyler, isn't it easier than that? Isn't there just a parcel number that Mr. Chilikian owns that we can reference?
You could do that as well. Yeah. It's a long sliver of parcel back through there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, whichever one you would like to have would be. I'll email you.
Yeah, I would appreciate that,
We'll talk after
Skylar.
the
Thank you very much for doing that.
So this is Jeff. I'll I'll make you guys a map so you can see the overall what we're talking about. It's
All
probably the easiest thing to do. And then
Very good.
however you reference it for the Board of Works.
Very good.
Fine, but I'll take care of that. Last
Jeff, I
comment
appreciate it.
is, the last comment is we don't want to be waiting 2 or 3 years trying to get a project put together out there. So if it's a 2 or 3 year outlook to acquire the properties and get Mr. Chilikian lined out, plus all the other parcels, there's a section of that particular street that needs repair now.
Yeah.
And so I think possibly we need to focus on acquiring those parcels so that we can, it's good for Michigan City, it's good for the businesses, to address that sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And I would say that would come back before the board to make a recommendation for you guys to accept it at that time. Mr. Wright will hopefully make a recommendation for you guys to accept that into your road.
Okay, so as we are leaving it, the next time we're going to bring it up unprompted would be the first meeting of October of 2021. Okay.
Yes,
Very
Mr.
good.
President.
Okay, we will move on. Any members of the public present that would like to address the board?
This is Tommy Kolovic from 1316 Ohio Street. I have a request for Mr. York that when you're doing your negotiations and reverting the town center drive from the ownership of Lowe's and Myers and Menards to the city, if right now currently in the parking lot there is a median between Meyer and Lowe's. And then there's another median between Lowe's and Menards. But between Meyer and Lowe's, there's a driveway cut out where you can drive between Myers and Lowe's, where you don't have to pull out on the town center drive. But between Menards and Lowe's, the median goes all the way across, where if you want to go between and shop at Menards and Lowe's, you have to pull back out on a town center drive and go into either Menards or Lowe's. Could they possibly cut out an area where we could drive between, like they have between Meyer and Lowe's? That was really bad planned out. So, maybe if you can look into having that done, that would be really a great way to alleviate the traffic flow in that area, in my opinion. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kulovic. Any other members of the public wish to address the board? Ms. Keating, Mayor Perry, anything to add?
None for me, nothing for me, Mr. President.
Okay, only thing for me, the Wolves and Blazers boys basketball team start March Madness this week. Best of luck to both of those teams. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Support that motion.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, everyone.